Hi everyone, welcome to our channel Code Chasers. I am Madhu Lakshman Atiketi. In this video, we will see what is inheritance in Python. Okay, what is inheritance in general sense? See, suppose there is a person, okay, and he has like house, okay, and a land, okay. He has a house and land. This house is in the name of this person, and land is also in the name of this person, okay. Land is also in the name of this person. So this person has a son, okay. His son, like we can call him like as a child, okay. At some point of time, this child will inherit these properties from his father, right? His father now, his son here, okay. At some point of time, this son will inherit properties from his father, right? Properties here are house. He will inherit his house. The house will be in the name of child at some point of time, right? Land also he will inherit. Land also will be in the name of his son, okay. Now, before inheriting properties, this child does not have like authorities. Like if at all this child want to sell this house, before inheriting he doesn't have any authority. But after inheriting these properties, as the house is in the name of this child, he can sell the property, right? He will get that functionality of selling the property, selling the house, okay. So the same example I'll apply the same inheritance concept that what we discussed here in Python, okay. Python. So we already discussed what is a class, what is an object, what is a constructor in our earlier videos. In addition to that, this concept will be inheritance, okay. Inheritance in Python, like in Python we can create a class from another class. This is a beautiful and interesting concept, okay. We can create a class from another class, okay, okay. So we will call the main class as parent class, okay. We'll call the main class or class 1 as a parent class, okay. We can create a class from this class, okay. This for suppose this is a class, parent class. We can create a class from this class and we can call this as child class, okay. We can call this as child class. Whenever we create a class from another class, this is like class or main class from which we have created the child class. This child class can acquire the properties of parent class. If suppose this parent class has some methods, variables, this child method like took birth from this class, right? This parent class, okay. Now this child class can acquire these properties of methods, like variables. Can acquire in the sense it has access to these variables. It can have access to these methods also, which are present in the parent class. Likewise, child has access. Now once child has inherited the properties from father, this child has access to the house now, access to the land also. Access in the sense he has like whole authority on the land and on the house, okay. Likewise, once a child class is created from the parent class, child class will have whole access to the methods and variables which are present in the parent class, okay. We'll see this concept with the help of coding section, okay. For example, I'm creating a class, okay. Let's say parent class, okay, and I am defining a constructor. I'm building a constructor here, okay. I am passing two variables, first name and last name, and I am initializing the variables, okay. See the terminology that I am following, like I am creating a class, I am building a constructor, I am initializing the variables. This is the terminology that you have to follow, okay. Whenever you are dealing with any programming language, you have to follow this kind of, or you have to like adopt this kind of terminology, okay. So I am initializing the variables, I'm done with the initialization now. Now I'll just create one method. Okay, I'll just create print details, and I'll print the variables which I have passed to the constructor. Okay, so by default, any method, if it like define in a class, the default parameter will be self. The self is the instance, the newly created instance of that particular class. Okay, self. Now these are instance variables. Now self dot fname and self dot lname are instance variables. As we have discussed in our earlier video about the instance variables, I can access this instance variables anywhere in my class, right? So I will access here. Okay, I'll just print these two lines. Okay, here I'm just trying to print the instance variables by like giving a logical print statement. First name is self dot fname, last name is self dot lname. Okay, so to keep it more clear, I'll just add another print statement here. Okay, print I am in init method, init method. Okay, so here I'll add another print statement to keep it more clear. I'll add I am in parent class print detail method, print det method. Okay, print det method. So here also I'll add like I am in parent class. Okay, I am in parent class init method. So this is my parent class, like you all agree, right? So I just want to create a child class from this parent class. How can I create? We will create a child class from a parent class. Okay, so for that, the syntax that we have to follow is class place space the child class. Any name you can give the class name. For like here I am giving the child itself, the class name as child itself, to inherit from a class, or like to be created to a new class to be created from an existing class, or to inherit from an existing class. We have to pass that particular class from which we are inheriting. Here we want to inherit from parent class, right? So we have to give that parent class in this braces. Okay, or we have to pass that class that we want to inherit to this particular child class. Okay, so after that we will write a pass statement here, pass keyword here. Okay, we know what is the significance of pass keyword. If at all you don't know, I'll give a link in my description, in this video description. You like I have already discussed the topic of pass in my earlier videos. You please go and have a look. Now if at all I create an object for child here, I'll create an object for child, and if at all we create an object for child, this child is inheriting the properties of the parent class, right? So if at all we are inheriting the properties, I said here what are the properties here? Variables are properties. Here methods are properties. Likewise, a father will have house in the name of like property, land in the name of property, some vehicle in the name of property. Here in this Python OOP section, class will have variables in the name of properties, like methods in the name of properties. So I can I have to inherit this fname and lname here. Like I can pass something to these two variables. I can treat these two variables are present in this class itself, sorry, in this child class itself. So I'll pass my first name as like Madhu. Let's say like my last name is Atiketi. So we'll see whether it will give an error. See, it will not give any error. See, it will not give any error. Here the concept of inheritance is working now. So I'll explain you what will happen here. So to create an instance, it will go to the, first of all it will check the, to create an instance of the child class, first of all it will check the init method in the child class. There is no init method. Then it will go to the init method of the parent class, because we are inheriting properties from the parent class, right? So it will go to the init method of this, and it will come inside the init method. So it will print, it has printed the print statement here, and it will try to assign the variables that we are passing here. See what the parameters I am passing here: Madhu and Atiketi. Madhu will be captured in the first f name, Atiketi will be captured in the l name. Okay, so and it will print this statement, and it will try to initialize, it will try to initialize the variable. See, f name I am assigning into self dot f name. This is an instance variable, as we have discussed in our earlier video. If at all like you are not sure what is an instance variable, I'll keep the earlier video link in my description, in this video description. You please go and have a look. Okay, so now these variables will be initialized. Okay, so variables will be initialized. So first of all, like when creating the instance of the child class, it will search for the init method in the child class. If at all we don't define init method of the child class, it will go to the init method of the parent class. Okay, so after entering into the init method of the parent class, it will like print. Now this init method like is inherited by the child, right? Now child has access to this init method, right? So that's why it has printed I am in parent class init method. Okay, this is how we can access, like this is how we will inherit a class. So we will see how can we inherit or how can we access this particular instance variable which we defined in parent class. Okay, how can we access the variables which we define in the parent class? Through child instance. C dot f name. If at all I print this, we'll see whether it will be printed or not. See, it is printed. So we can access the variables in the parent class through child instance, c dot f name. This instance indirectly is inheriting the variables, inheriting the properties. Like a child inherits properties of his parent, this child instance is inheriting the properties of the parent class. Okay, here the properties are nothing but the variables and also methods. Okay, like this is how we inherit variables. Okay, L name. If at all I print, Madhu will be printed and then L name will be printed, obviously. So now how can we inherit methods? This is a method which is present in the parent class. As a child, if at all I inherit the properties of the parent class, I have access to this, I should have access to this method, right, which is defined in the parent class. So if at all I have access, if at all this child has access to this particular method, printed it method, how can I access that particular method? So we can access, again we can access with the help of instance created from the child class. C is the instance, and we can access the method printed it which is defined in the parent class here. C dot the method name which is defined in the parent class. If at all I execute this, see, first what did it do? See, it went into init method. Okay, it went into init method and initialized these variables, and then what did it do? It has printed c dot f name here. C dot first name is Madhu, c dot last name is Atiketi, and now c dot printed it. This is a child instance pointing to a method in the parent class. So did it go to the parent method? Did it go to this print underscore det? Yes, it did go. How can we say that? See, this print statements we have defined it in the printed it of the parent class, right? So I am in parent class printed it method. So this is printed. Okay, so first name is Madhu, first name is self dot f name, what we have passed here, Madhu. Self dot l name, what is the l name that we have passed? It is Atiketi. So it has printed. Madhu has gone and occupied this f name. Atiketi had gone and occupied this l name. So, and we are assigning these variables and to an instance variable, self dot f name, self dot l name. It's not compulsion that you have to give the same name here. F name we can give first name also, first name. It's like we are actually making, like we are assigning this past variables to an instance variables. We are making them instance, like I can give last name also. So while accessing this variables, we have to access with the name, instance variable name, that what we have given here. Okay, self dot first name, self dot first name, self dot last name, and also here this is the instance, right? The variables which are which are dedicated to that instance, the variable name is first name, so we have to give this first name here. Okay, for this self is nothing but C, right? C, this is the instance C. C will be passed in the name of, C will be passed in the position of self, and Madhu will be passed in the position of f name, authenticator will be passed in the position of L name. This self is nothing but C, the instance of that particular, or at that present time. See, at this particular time, C is the instance. So to access that instance variable, I have to give the exact name what I have given to the instance variable. Okay, so now if at all I print it, so it will be printing, it will be, we can access the method which is present in the parent class, okay, by inheritance concept. Okay, so this is inheritance, like this is how we inherit classes in Python. Okay, and this is how we inherit variables of parent class into a child class. This is how we inherit methods of a parent class to a child class. Okay, this is the concept of inheritance here. So here we didn't define any init method in the child class. Okay, so what will happen if we define init method in the child class? That is again an interesting concept. What will happen here? A new beautiful and interesting concept called overriding will take place. Okay, that we will see in our next video. I hope from this video you got the basic understanding of inheritance and how we have to inherit a child class from a parent class, and how we have to inherit variables from a parent class to child class, how we have to inherit the methods which are present in the parent class into a child class. So I hope you found this video useful, and if you like the content that I deliver, please try to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Thank you so much.